back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tari here at Owl Define Myself, and we are going to go ahead and dive into this April reading for all of the Aries signs out there, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. We're going to sit with Spirit and just see what messages are coming through for you for the month of April. Okay, so in this moment, I encourage you all to get comfortable. Okay, there's power in the pause. Activate your own intuition. Okay, and as always, I encourage people, please do not force it. Okay, if the shoe does not fit, we are not here to force anything, but I do encourage you to look at the other messages surrounding your moon, rising, and Venus placements. Okay, so Aries, I will be working with a few different decks for this reading. We're going to see what messages come through you from Spirit. I hope that everyone is well, that they have been caring for their mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being as much as possible. I've just been feeling like the energy has been fatigued, tired. Understandably so. There's quite a bit going on. Spirit, what prime messages do you have for Aries? Okay, so we have new outlook coming through. Okay, new outlook. Sorry, my camera is a bit off-centered. So we have new outlook coming through. And we also have desperate that is coming through. New outlook and desperate. Is there anything else, Spirit, that you have for Aries that needs to come through? This message is all, it already seems pretty clear. And I'll use the tarot to try to clarify. But I'm getting the feeling that there is something that Aries that you've been clinging to very, very desperately. You know, if you are pretty familiar with the law of attraction, a really huge part of that is detachment. And here we have, I feel like, a lot of solar plexus chakra energy coming through, which is everything surrounding to self-confidence, not doubting, believing, all of that. And there's something that Aries that you've been desperately clinging to, okay? And then we have masculine energy coming through. Okay. To dive into this a little deeper, to shed some light, let's take a look at a tarot to see what comes through for you guys. New outlook. I think Spirit is wanting you to have a new outlook on your life, on whatever it is that I feel like you are desperately clinging to. You see, this masculine energy is all about that doer energy. And I feel like there are messages coming through. First of all, Aries, we're in the season of your people. Okay, yay. I also love Aries energy. It's very fiery, passionate in that sense. And this masculine energy is coming through because I feel like part of what is feeding into this desperation is this masculine energy. Yeah, let me consult with the tarot on this. Sorry for the pause. I had a thought that came through. And that also could have been a message in itself that you need to pause. Um, Spirit, what divine messages do you have for Aries? Can you clarify the desperate? Um, can you clarify this desperate energy for Aries? It's interesting because it's almost as if even in the midst of, you have this big bright sun here that's so beautiful, right? But it seems as if even in this visual, this person in here is so focused on this one aspect of their life, of this big boulder on the cliff, that they forget to see everything else that is surrounding them, with this focus. So we have coming through for this desperate energy, to clarify it. We have the Fool energy coming through. Okay. I, I feel like what's coming through for you all is that, the Fool energy can be very light, a very light energy, right? This energy of, you know, I'm going to flow, and, things are going to be okay. Like, things are going to work out, okay? And I feel like whatever it is that you have been clinging to so much, that Spirit is reminding you that behind this small, tiny boulder is a world of opportunity. It is the sun, okay? But you're so busy focused on this boulder, right? That it is blocking the sun. It almost feels like a very heavy energy, right? Because the boulder is bigger than the person in this visual. However, the sun, the sky is even more vast and even more grand. But the boulder is blocking the vision, the overall vision, the overall destination. And it makes me feel like maybe that's how you guys have been feeling. I get that you're very action oriented people, okay? Can we clarify, um, Spirit, can we please clarify this new outlook? Yeah, there's something that you guys need to stop clinging on to so much. There's something you need to release control. There's a time for masculine energy, and then there's a time for feminine energy, okay? I'm specifically speaking at energies at this moment. Masculine energy is very doer oriented, okay? Um and Spirit, this masculine energy seems to be feeding this desperation energy, because you're like, I gotta get it done, I gotta get it done, I gotta do something, I gotta do something, I gotta do something. But all you're doing is missing the vision. You're missing the outlook. You're missing the opportunity and the possibility that is behind this desperation. This need to see, but you can't see because you're moving too fast. You need to take a pause. For new outlook coming through, you have the Six of Pentacles energy coming through to clarify for a new outlook. Okay. This is giving, there is, I just heard there's more than enough to go around. There are plenty of seats at the table. Like, no need to worry, no need to stress. Like, there's there's more than enough. And while you've been very busy in this masculine energy of doing, it's prevented you from being able to receive. The universe wants to bless you. The universe wants to give you your heart's desires. The universe is going to, okay? This is this new outlook, this rainbow, this very colorful outlook on life that you're being encouraged to lean into more so than blocking the blessings by holding on so tight because you're not trusting the process, okay? There's a time for masculine energy, and there is a time to be still. There is a time to surrender, okay? And lean into this energy of trust with grace and poise. And whatever it is that you're so desperate for, that you are clinging to, Spirit wants you to let go and release that energy, okay? So that you can receive all that the divine has for you. Wonder, ooh, Lord. So, this popped out. Okay, so we have the King of Cups reversed also coming through. Okay. This is clarifying the masculine energy that's coming through. Okay, so I am also a doer in nature. Okay. But again, there's a time and a place for everything. It takes both and a balance in life to be able to move forward with grace and poise and having discernment when it comes to that. Okay. Spirit, with this King of Cups reverse, instead of leaning into this masculine energy, Spirit wants you to lean into how you are feeling. Like, don't get so focused on trying to come up with a plan and the steps of the plan that you forget that you are going through a series of emotions during this process with whatever you're clinging desperately to that needs to be released, that hasn't been released. It's almost as if when you're shaking a bottle, you're shaking something with fizz, and it's got so much it's getting ready to implode, and then when you literally go to open it, it goes everywhere. Like, that's the visual that I got from all of this. It's almost giving like a very, like, this is what I know, this is what I want, this is what I desire. In order from get to point A to point B, I have to have a plan to get from point A to point B. Like, you don't just get from point A to point D, right? You have to go through B and C first. And that energy right now, this masculine energy that you're leaning so heavily into, is blocking you from being able to lean into your feelings. Like, dig deeper into why you have this anxious energy of doing when really stillness is what you need to be embracing, when really your inner thoughts and feelings are what you need to be embracing. Get to the root of why that is the case. Spirit doesn't want you to be desperate in that sense, or to have that energy. Trust the process. There's more than enough to go around in that sense. And lean into those feelings of maybe why, the roots of why this desperation is a thing. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Let's see what angels and ancestors want to reveal themselves to you in this time. Spirit, Angels, ancestors, what divine messages do you have for Aries? I see a beautiful ending for you all. Um, I see a beautiful, beautiful ending for you all. So we have She-Wolf coming through, okay? Unleash the wild within. So when I see this, do you see this moon energy right here? And you see in this picture the wolf head and the woman, and she's fully leaning back, okay? Leaning back almost as if, you know, she's soaking in and basking in the moment of just this divine feminine energy, okay? Soaking up all of the moon's glory, okay? That moon energy that also is coming through symbolizes that light casts shadow, although you may not be able to see it, okay? There's always an opposing side. There's always something on the other side, even though the side that you may feel on right now, that you may be feeling right now that you're on, is dark. But light casts shadow. With this she-wolf energy coming through, I'm getting that you are a very powerful person energetically, but I'm also feeling like you are a very intuitive person as well. Um, and I feel like intuitively and spiritually, and even these are things that you know, but I feel like there's right now there's a difference. There's a fight between your controlled brain and like your automatic brain. And your control brain wants to control the situation in the scenario. But your automatic brain wants you to release. Your automatic brain wants you to surrender to this process. Just freaking let go. Let go. Just let go. Let's see. Spirit, what other messages do you have for Aries? I am going to clarify to try to get some more insight onto what you're desperate about. What is this desperation surrounding? I'm going to go back and pull from the tarot for that. Let's see, what other messages, Spirit, do you have for Aries? Yeah, it's time for you to lean into your divine feminine energy, Aries. You've been spending a lot of energy exerting yourself with this boulder here, and you've been blocking. You haven't been still enough to allow the process to unfold. This new outlook, this rainbow is yours. The universe wants to bless you and for you to receive the desires of your heart, and you will. But you need to let go. You need to trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process, okay? Let's see. Spirit, are there any other messages that you have for Aries coming through? What does Aries need to do to receive this new outlook, to receive these blessings? I mean, that she-wolf energy is freedom, and I feel like you need to free yourself for sure. Spirit wants you to free yourself because you've been bound by your own thoughts. You've been bound by your own masculine energy, and it's definitely time to release that. Release yourself from that, especially your mental. We have the Shaolin master coming through. Okay. Be graceful in movement and action. Yeah. that is part of what the surrendering process is about. Moving with grace, leaning into your feelings, into the emotions, trusting the process, having this full energy, okay? Where you were just kind of like, look, even the fool on here is like leaning back, chin up, okay? Just like the she wolf. Just let go, okay? Release. Trust me, you will feel so much lighter, Aries. You will feel so much lighter. Okay, Spirit, what is Aries desperate about? This Lord. Spirit, what is Aries desperate about? What is this desperate energy centered on? Ooh, you want it to pop up. Okay, we have interesting air sign coming through. We have the Six of Swords coming through reverse. Okay, to clarify what this desperation energy is centered on. Okay, so you are going through a transition currently in your life. That's clear. You're going through a transition, but there's something that you're fighting with this transition. This there's something that you're fighting within this transition. Whatever, it's not what you're fighting, it's what you're trying to control during this transition. What is it that Aries is trying to control, Spirit, during this transition? Whatever it is, you're not going to be able to control it, Aries. You can only control yourself in that way. And I get the feeling that you know this. Again, I feel like you are a pretty intuitive person in that sense. But you know, as again, I feel like your control brain is getting in the way. So, what exactly are you trying to control? You're getting a lot of energy coming through reverse. So, we have Seven of Pentacles coming through in reverse. What you were trying to control seems to be what the outcome unfolds. And I'm going to encourage you to do this, right? Whenever you are manifesting, whatever you are trying to pray for, whatever you desire, okay? I encourage you to also remember to just pray for guidance and clarity from the divine, and whatever is meant to happen for your highest good, for that to occur for you. Even be open to the divine opportunities that the universe may have for you, because a lot of the times what you think you want for yourself or what you have planned for you, the divine has so much more in store for you. Okay? So be open to the ebbs and flows of this process. Whatever is going through, whatever transition you're going through right now, be open to the ebbs and flows, because it will be lucrative. Okay? It will be. The universe is going to bless you. Okay? But release less of the masculine energy. Okay? More of the being graceful in movement and action and leaning into this process. Feeling what you need to feel, surrendering to the process. Okay? Lean into that divine feminine energy right now. Okay? Let me see, Aries, what spirit animal message is coming through for you right now. spirit animal message is coming through for Aries that Aries needs to work with? In this time. Ooh, you popped out. Ooh, we have parrot spirit coming through. Interesting. Interesting. Watch your words, okay? Words have power. Words are the greatest and biggest form of manifestation as well. While you've been focusing on doing, I think spirit is calling you to hone in a little more on that throat chakra of yours and begin to speak life and vision into what it is that you want and what it is that you desire. Okay? That is also a part of leaning into that feminine energy. Okay? Sometimes speaking things and having vision and dreaming is enough. Okay? It takes a balance. It takes a balance and having discernment with the ebb and flow, okay, of masculine energy and feminine energy. Okay, Aries? Um, that is all that I have for you for your spiritual messages for your spiritual message for the month of April. I hope you found it helpful and useful. If not, please check out your other placements. Okay, for for your rising, your moon, your Venus placements as well. Again, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Please consider liking, commenting. Definitely comment. I love to hear your thoughts and your feedback, and please let me know if this resonated. Okay, and also if there are any other types of readings that you would like to hear more about. Okay. Um, Again, thank you for all of the support. Shout out to my 26 subscribers. I love you guys dearly. Okay. Um, and yeah, that's all I've got for you, Aries. Continue to just take care of yourself and remember, just let go, okay? Less masculine energy. I know we're in the season of your people. You're probably feeling very fiery, okay? And that's fine. Nothing wrong with it, okay? But Spirit wants you to lean into your feminine energy right now. That what you desire, you will receive, okay? But you've been clinging very, very tight. You've been trying to map out each and everything, and you were more than prepared. And Spirit wanted me to convey that message to you, okay? So just trust how it unfolds, lean gracefully into it, okay? Trust the process, okay? Until next time, I'm going to love you and leave you.